inspections, evaluations, and vehicle data. Uh, to take you into that, particularly, we have to know why did we choose that? Why did we enter into that line? Well, basically, we found a problem inside of it. I guess, uh, did anyone buy a car recently? Used vehicle. Used vehicle. We found a problem. ما في أشياء سيارة مستعملة قبل كده.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Aside from that. Okay. The point is, when you buy a used vehicle, you need to make sure that that vehicle has been inspected properly to make sure that it stands out for the value you pay to the real core business that affects our daily life. We drive cars every day. We buy and sell cars.
Or we were using
every day.
Monday.com
Those
or
cars are
Teams
not equal. Those cars get damaged. Those cars need inspections. Those cars are traded commodities that require inspections. I'll tell you something. We sell in Saudi Arabia, we sell 500,000 vehicles a year. But we exchange between each other 1.5 million vehicles a year, which is 3 times. So people are focused on just small side, which is small portion, which is the new vehicles, but they're missing the big one. So who is serving those 1.5 million vehicles being exchanged in Saudi? There must be companies like Caterpillar. We're the first, but there will be a couple of companies that they will redesign and they will pre-plan their companies to become autotechs, and they come and enlarge our market share. They will come and compete with us, but it's okay. We love competition because competition is good. Don't be afraid of competition. Don't say, I want to do something that nobody else has done it. That's impossible. That will never happen. Competition is healthy. You know why? Because your competitor might be able to convince a customer that you couldn't convince. And when a customer is being convinced and entered into that market, he will play a marginal role in the overall market size. So growing the market you are investing in is very good, whether you make it yourself or someone else helps you. It's like digging a hole. If you're digging a hole, you will probably stay a month. If someone come and help you in digging that hole, you will do it in 3 weeks. So don't be afraid of competition. Be ready for competition. Of course, competition could harm you if you don't know, if you don't have the right tools to fight. But competition is good. Thank you very much.
How can we sell our car in the platform and also tell the price? Is it based on the price or is it the price?
Thank you. We don't sell cars. We don't interfere in the selling process. We are a third party. We are only responsible to tell you that this vehicle has X, Y, and Z. We don't interfere in the sales process because that will actually make it right. So we don't do that at all. We just help you take the right decision. So, but we partner with trading platforms, but we don't trade ourselves under the same banking or a system company. We don't do that. Okay? Lina, which is infertility. Everyone in the company have signed infertility agreements. We are accredited by bodies locally, regionally, and internationally as the first track to get that accreditation for inspection bodies. One of the main important things that everyone who works for CarTrust or partners with CarTrust should sign infertility agreement. Infertility agreement means that we cannot by all means interfere in the decision of buying or selling. So that's just proves how trustworthy we are.
So can you take us through the journey? So you want to do B2B solution or B2C solution? So
We are both.
if I want to buy a used car, how can I use the platform to get this car and
Okay.
the benefit of your platform?
Mumtaz. You can basically choose whatever car you want to see. There are more options. You can search online. There are Snapchat. There are online platforms. There are apps. You choose a car, you know what's the location of that car, you do your dealing as if you're doing it right now, you don't get to do the negotiation or buying decision. Before you decide to buy the car, you just download the app, send us a SMS, we do have a call center, we do have WhatsApp, phone number for the WhatsApp. We have all the accessible channels. You can request a service immediately. We can serve you. Either you can bring to our center, or we will serve you at your own location. So even if the car still will be the seller, we can work with the seller location in our mobile van. We have the first mobile van, inspection mobile van in the country. And that is a very big service. That's being loved by so many people. So we do the service. You pay online or pay at the location if you want to see the vehicle while it is inspected. And then after that, you will receive an SMS with a report in your phone. As easy as that. That's the full inspection service. If you want the evaluation is something else. The evaluation requires a lot of AI technology that works in the background. You just take a picture of the vehicle, we'll tell you how much it is. That's something coming very soon. In a couple of weeks, our mobile app will be able to tell you the price of any vehicle you see. You don't even need to tell me what car is that. Just take a picture and tell me what car is that, how much is it. Okay? That's our big thing. That's where we're going to help the entire community. Right now, we're doing the biggest portion of my business. Our business goes to B2B. Only small goes to the B2C. Because we're helping the B2C by bringing vehicles from the B2B as inspected and ready. So we're doing fleet inspection with the biggest company in the country. That's it. Did I answer you? Did I answer any questions? Okay.
So far, it is related to the evolution of the inspection, especially inspection of the car.
Yes.
If you think of some certain platforms, like there are some kind of videos there, and I want to buy a car and I go there and I give them the car, inspect it, and they give me a report. The agent helps us like that, the car is accident or not, it's painted or not, like inspection.
Yeah, like we said, any car page.
For example, but the evolution of the price, how will it differ from the garage or Marcia car? If I go there on Friday, especially, there will be me and the car there, and they will review my car. But if I'm selling it, only car, even I'm buying it, and there will be like, if I'm buying a Yaris, for example, there will be 20 or 30 cars I will receive from similar perspective, similar model, similar condition. They will give me a price. For example, I will take it by myself, like prices are from that range to that. How can you evaluate the price point? So if you can explain.
Okay. The evaluation of the price of the vehicle requires it's an algorithm made with more than 15 components, 15 elements. It will start with the first the age of the vehicle. Then it will ask questions about the status of the vehicle, the mileage of the vehicle, accident, severity of the accident, warranty availability. So many components. It's like 13 or 15 components. It ends up with the residual value. That residual value varies from a make to another based on live data and based on criteria that have been designed specifically for that vehicle. For example, we just said Yaris. Okay, I'll tell you an example just to make it clear to everyone. First year depreciation for a Yaris is 14%. First year depreciation for a Rolls Royce is 25%. Okay, so of course that is a major difference. If you bring a car that is 5 years old and it has a depreciation of 25 and then 20 or 18 and accumulated depreciation of around 60% of that vehicle, then at an age of 5 years, you will find that that vehicle have lost almost 60 to 65% of its value. And that's true. Because today's value for a Rolls Royce new is 2 million riyal, but you buy it for 800 new, used, 4 or 5 years old. That's how it works. While Yaris is 45,000 riyals new, but you still buy it today for 28, 27, maybe 30, depending on the situation. So each make and model makes a difference. Okay? Any more question?
If I open a single account,
We already
and go to the evaluation and bargain with the shop to reduce the price.
we do have our services Haraj using our mobile plan. And that's a different work position that we need to take care of. Okay? The market is not so ideal. And we are on the side of the buyer. We don't say this car is good or bad. We say this car has X, Y, and Z. We help you take the right decision. Sometimes the right decision is to buy the car. And in many cases, the right decision is not to buy the car. Okay? So it's very important to know exactly which side are you picking. We don't pick sides, we just say truth. And that's where we have spent a lot of money in building a brand equity and credibility in people's mind that car trust. We don't care about the deal, whether it happens or not. That's why we said we don't trade cars. We are totally independent. We say good or bad based on facts. That's it. And this was a missing positioning in the market because most of the inspection centers you see in Iran, okay, are already biased because they already take their salaries from the shop, from the dealers, or from the traders. You can go to Haraj and check where those small shops are operating. They're operating as part of the dealers, and that's not right. Okay? They are not in charge. They are not in charge. With this side, I need to have one question, otherwise I'll stand here forever. From this side. Yes, thank you. Doing the open deal movement. Okay? So we do have services, and we are partnered with international brands such as Moment Service Centers, such as Ferry Service Centers, and very soon we will have a lot of associations. So you can go to any of the affiliated branches or service providers to get car trust inspection. What we are selling is selling a brand. You know how. You don't want inspection, you want car trust inspection. It goes through a proper process that's very holistic, straightforward. People are trained on it, and it gives constant results. That's our quality promise. We don't want you to provide inspection, we want you to provide car trust. Regarding awareness and communication, we have made a lot of progress in that domain. We have launched a mega campaign, Malik Road, bridges, all digital signs for us. That's a big launch campaign that took place Q3 of 2021. And since then, we have been investing on social media, on other digital platforms, and we have partnered in other collaborative marketing activities with partners and social support. So we're continuing to build awareness on that.
Thank you.
Now, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Have a seat there. I think all of her will sit there and we can have random Q&As. Yeah, please. Mr. Tanir, please. It's not fair because I was just having my coffee and now we're moving there. So, but anyways.
That's fine.
Yes. And this is your coffee.
Okay, so we have our second
Ministry of Health. All right. Anyone else working in government? All right. So we have people from Ministry of Health. Anybody working in Congress? I'm also working part-time, so yeah. I did that. That's how your clients force it, so the price of entrepreneurship. Anyways, anyone working in corporate, not a startup? Please raise your hand. Okay, corporate, all right, inshallah. Corporate is also corporate, so you can raise your hand as well. And anyone working in startup? Okay, startup. Amazing. Okay, we have folks from startup. Startup is going to startup, so yeah, raise your hand as well. Perfect. So I think we should ask the student. No, that's a huge chunk as well. Anyone is a student here? There are a couple of students.
Yeah, there are.
Okay, there are a couple of students. Great. Maybe we can get an internship in startups.
Can you repeat the startup?
Yeah. How many are in startups? Okay, I think the startups is the majority today, right? We must give you your idea what's going on.
I just said that.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
there is nothing from me.
It's copying and
We
engraving.
have a lot of things still in our phone.
So if they see your idea, are we allowed to service this? That's some of it, or no? Samar is very jealous of us. So we have a very nice relationship. All right, so folks, I'm going to put this off here because it's awkward. What I'm really interested in the community is how people were figuring out or thinking that, okay, job is not suitable for them. Because that was the case with me. And then I moved, I took this decision and I started Startup. So what's more interesting for me from the audience, or let's say if I'm running a YouTube channel, is to guide or help or assist those who want to take this decision. And information that I did not know at when I was starting Startup, how can I make that information more available to others who are in the same boat? So quickly about myself, I was an IT graduate 10 years ago, I'm getting older. And after my bachelor's, I worked in Pakistan maybe for a year. I was born and raised here in Saudi, but then I went to Pakistan for my bachelor's and worked there for 1 year, tried to service companies, and then I came back here, didn't enjoy much. So I said, okay, let's come here, and I worked in corporate different jobs. I was a website developer, and then I was also a marketing technology officer. And I was, yes, I do.
Speak Arabic, they usually tend to.
I hope you ignored that part. So yeah, I can understand Arabic very well.
Better than any.
No, that's not true. Okay. So I can understand Arabic very well, but I don't know how it's relevant. But yes. So the thing is, I was working as a marketing technology officer as well, and in my last job, what I felt was that I was not allowed to bring in innovation to the company. So my management never ever appreciated, not just from my side, but from anyone in the company. They did not welcome innovation. They just wanted to go with things that were already there. And one thing that I really appreciated in Car Trust, and I think the people working in Car Trust, is that mashallah, Mr. Omar does welcome innovative ideas from the team members and of course from the vendors as well. But that was lacking when I was working as an employee in a company, and that was my biggest motivation, that I want to start something of my own where I am allowed freely to implement my ideas, or at least try my ideas. And then part of the reason was also the money. When you're starting your own company, there's a lot of cash, but not for every startup. We're very lucky. We started a company which is tech-based and technology is booming. So yeah, we were lucky. But yeah, the main motivation was that how can I create an environment, a small environment for myself and others who will join me, who can freely try different ideas, who can freely solve problems using their creative energy. So yeah, that was the motivation. That's pretty much it. And again, thank you all for coming. Secondly, I want to thank Mr. Amar for accepting the invitation. And a huge thank, I want to introduce this hidden gem. Mr. Tabir, I'm going to introduce you myself first because I'm your junior and he's my senior in the college. And I'm not even now, and I'm learning a lot from him. So, mashallah, he's a search engine marketer. So he helped companies rank well on Google and get leads. And he has been doing it for almost 1 decade and a half decade, so it's like 15 years, yeah. And he is also awarded by the Pakistani government. What was the name in English? Pride of Pakistan. If you Google Pride of Pakistan, only I think 3 or 5 folks were awarded. All right, so, and one of those were Mr. Tanveer. And I'm very, very much humbled and honored that he accepted our invitation. And the whole idea is that we want to share our journey with you guys and see if we can answer your questions. So please let us know if you have any questions for me for now. Any questions? Yes? Luckily, since I spent most of my time in Pakistan when I was graduating, like almost 4 to 5 years, I was able to form a very good network. So I knew developers, I knew people who were already in the industry, they were mature, and I had my connections. So it was using those connections and how to bridge the gap. So I hope I was able to answer it. By the way, when I came here to Saudi, I did not immediately decide to start my company. I had my company registered in Pakistan and I was servicing clients through that. There are some legalities that I can let you know afterwards. But 2 years ago, like officially we started somebody in Saudi 2 years ago. Right? Any other questions for me? Especially expats, even locals as well. Yeah.
So as a Pakistani, we are here. So what do you think? I am as a freelancer. I'm working on different platforms. What do you think? How can we grow in this community as a Saudi in Saudi Arabia, and how can we help our friends in Pakistan to come here or work here as in a startups or another thing?
Alright, so bluntly, I'm going to tell you is if you're not able to solve the problem here, I would not advise you to come here because right now Saudi is more about human capability development, which is to empower the locals right now, which is quite understood. It's very appreciated. But yeah, remote work is on the rise. So nobody needs to come anywhere. They can work remotely. So as long as you know how to find clients, you can work from anywhere. You can work from Maldives, Pakistan, wherever you want. You can work from Dubai as well.
And you are saying that we can work for Saudi as a freelancer from Pakistan, but we can not choose to coming here in Saudi as an expat.
You can. I'm not saying you cannot, but if you come here, it means that you have to form a legal setup. Okay, you have to go with Ministry of Investment, you have to go with Chamber of Commerce, and then you have to go with Human Resource Development, Ministry of Human Resource Development, the Hadia license, you need to have an office, and all of that things in order to set up a proper business. If that is something that you really want to do, that's amazing. But if you want to work as a freelancer, you don't have to do this. You just need to find clients. Either it could be on online platforms, or you can come here on a business visit, attend some conferences, and find clients. Yeah.
I'm pro freelancing, and I think freelancing is a very nice source of income. But I believe that there might be a hybrid of it. You need to have a full-time job somewhere on this planet, and then freelance. Okay. Living solely on freelance is not sustainable. That's my point of view. Put it by me, not anybody else. That's my point. I'll tell you from a business perspective. I've been dealing with IT on business. So I've seen different angles of the relationship between IT professionals and business. Obviously, things have evolved dramatically. The relationship has taken so much upward and thinking with the introduction of freelancing and cloud-based computing. It has enabled people to work from different places. That's technology progression. But still, human capability is irreplaceable. You need to have the touch and feel. That's why there will always be a need for developers to come and participate in the ecosystem physically, not remotely. With that remote working is good, but not all the time. That's my point. I hope I make it clear. That's just my point of view. For example, IT requirement. If we have a project with partners, we can't hire the full stack of developers. We can't have front, middle, back, and whatever. What other names? Hybrid. Okay. We can't. Okay. We will have deficiency in one of those areas. So we will always require a partner to do that. Okay. But we can do a lot of other things. We can do technical support. We can do quality control. We can do testing. There are other aspects. So it's a mix. It's not always right to go full freelance.
Something everyone. Before introducing myself, I would like to add 2 cents to answer your question. Actually, we should divide life in different parts. Maybe we can call them stages. We start with being a student, we do graduation. The problem, I don't know much about this culture in Saudi Arabia because it's my first visit as a professional and I was talking to them. But in my country, Pakistan, we don't choose what we like to pursue the career with. Like, I had like 35 classmates. One day, teacher asked us why you joined IT. So I was the only one who said, it's my passion. I want to pursue my career in IT. And all my 34 fellows, they were like, we didn't get admission in any other, like, any other class, any other subjects. So we are here. So we should start focusing from our student, like what we are doing after 5 years, after 10 years. And after that, I say start learning something when you're in university, when you're graduating. After graduation, do maybe a job maybe for 2 years or 1 year or even 6 months. That teaches you a lot. That teaches you how you communicate with the team, how to run a team, how to you see like how boss works, how your teammates work, how the system works actually. After that, start your own program, start your own startup, maybe you can see. Running a startup is like, it's a dream for every one of us. It's very easy, just get an idea and start pushing and you will be millionaire in next one year or so. It can be that easy. I must say, it can be that easy. I don't want to let you down. It can be that easy, but you will have to give time. You will have to give enough time to nourish yourself actually. Everything else comes after that. Yourself comes before everything. So then pick a startup idea. Whatever you think is already happening somewhere in the world. You are not the first one to start anything in your country, in your area, in your region. There must be happening somewhere in the world. Just go and explore it. Then start something like from very, very low, stage, with low budget, with something that can maximum, can teach you. Money comes after that. Actually, money is byproduct, I must say. When you solve any problem, that's a startup. That's an entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is just solving an existing problem, nothing else, and building your business. When you build business, money comes in like automatically. So I think focus on building skills, then making like relationships, as Ahmed said. Like, he was having network back in Pakistan. He is utilizing that network now. He gets work from here and gives to his team back in Pakistan. And labor in Pakistan is very cheap. So that's how he is managing business.
Not in the secret. Not anymore.
Let out the secret. Let the cat out of the bag.
Can we cut this part of this?
Okay.
No, sir. No, we are Pakistanis as working as a dollar, not Pakistani rupees.
Yeah, that is an important point. I just wanted to add because see now since most of Pakistanis and Europeans are working for Pakistanis are working for American and European clients, including the Indians are also working for European and American clients. They're used to dollars. And
Actually, we are earning in dollars.
yes, exactly. The transfer is actually dollars.
So also we are working with friends, and now we are also transferring each other dollars, not in rupees, right?
And I think everything is more streamlined because of these websites like Fiverr and Upwork and whatever. So I believe like it's globally the same now.
Yeah.
It's changing. So it's not cheap anymore. Thank you so much, Mr. Tanvir. I'd like to introduce our new sponsor. And please.
Thank you very much. Well, I would like to welcome you all to you. I would like to second what Mr. Tunisi and also my dear friend Ahmed and Mr. Tanvir have just addressed a few minutes ago. I myself am a senior entrepreneur, so I work on different entrepreneurship projects. I have different startups, our failures, our success, alhamdulillah. But of course, you need to have a network, you need to have the skills, and you need to have the passion. Right? And as Mr. Tunisi said at the very beginning, you need to find the problem and solve the problem. This is one of the most important characteristics for an entrepreneur. For example, the jazz bar, Nook, right here. What made me to start it, I love jazz, so I was going to one of the jazz shops in Jeddah, and after some time the quality dropped radically. So I decided that, you know what, I love jazz, there's a lot of people who love jazz, but there is no proper jazz bar in Jeddah. Let's start. And I could put myself with, went through the market research, networking with people, finding investors, and put what you guys are enjoying right now. So the bottom line, or the buttercream, or takeaway with you tonight is find the problem with your passion, something that you really like. By the way, I'm an IT engineer, but I dropped the IT because I find out I'm a very social person. I like to network with people. I like to go out, and this is what you see tonight. Thank you very much once again, and I wish you happy
Thank you again, Mr. Mohammed, for inviting all of us over here and being the new sponsor for today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I'd like to bring it back to Mr. Ahmed and Tanvir, and you all can continue with the questions. Thank you.
Yeah, we still didn't get the introduction from Mr. Tanvir. I'd love to hear it myself. I'd love to hear from my seniors. So yeah.
Thank you. My name is Tanvir Lardlan. I'm from Pakistan, as you all know. Actually, I started my career back in 2006 when I got humiliation in college life. I was trying to do something with the computers, but I was forced to study chemistry. I had absolutely no clue what it's all about. So then I never looked back. I took admission in information technology, and from that point I got to know about Google AdSense. That's a product of Google, and that's through Orkut. Maybe you would never know about Orkut.
I'm the same generation.
So no one here knows about Orkut? Really?
Oh my God! Yes.
Yes, you are revealing our age.
Okay, I don't want to reveal that.
Yeah, so that was the Facebook of that time. So then I started my career in information technology. I started learning started making blogs in WordPress, in PHP language, and then monetize it through Google AdSense. Google, actually how it all works, let me brief you. You make a website that can be any topic, if you are an expat in Saudi Arabia, like people, expats are love to search about how income works, how to find jobs, how to find a job in Jeddah, how to find a job in Riyadh, like similar kind of searches. So what we do actually, so we make a website like job search and monetize them through Google AdSense and similar networks. It pays us like advertiser, a company pays Google, like they are paying like suppose 100 SAR per lead. So Google will pay us like 68% of that particular amount. And this is working for everyone. Like a company is getting their business advertised, and we are getting paid for our traffic, for our website, and Google is earning like commission from that chunk of money. So then I entered into like training people. In 2016, one of my stories got very viral internationally, globally, that a teenager from Pakistan earned $5,000 in a single day from Google. A guy from a very humble background, from a very village of a very small city, that means a lot to you actually. And then I started training people about how to make money online through freelancing, through digital marketing, through search engine optimization, like how to rank any website on top of Google against relevant search terms. Like as Amar having a business, let me tell you one thing. Whether you're a student, whether you're a job guy, whether you're a fresher, whatever you are, you will have to encounter with the digital marketing in your life. That's for sure. So if you embrace it as soon as possible, that's better for you. Otherwise, it will knock your door, maybe something. So why I'm saying this? Because every business that is started anywhere in the world, that needs marketing. No? We understand whatever the good business is, whatever the product you have, unless you don't do marketing, that's nothing. If your target audience doesn't know about that product, that's almost useless, no? So this is why digital marketing is essential for every business. So if you will not embrace this change or embrace this reality, you will get late, I must say. So if you are a business owner, you will have to opt this, digital marketing for your business, to market your products, to market your services, market your website, anything you have. And if you are a struggling person, you are looking to make a career in it, you will have to learn digital marketing, because there are jobs everywhere in the world. It doesn't matter wherever you are. And after COVID, you have experience in yourself. Like after COVID, these things have skyrocketed. Like last month in March, I was in Dubai in NAS summit. You guys know NAS Delhi?
Yes.
Yeah. So he had summit in Dubai last month. So there someone like speaking to the audience and saying about NFTs, Web 3.2, Metaverse. I must say that whatever you start, whatever you become, you will have one thing similar requiring, that is digital marketing. And what is digital marketing? Anyone, any idea? Digital marketing.
running ads on Google, YouTube, and other
Running
platforms.
ads, okay, on YouTube, on Google, SEO, search engine optimization, and
Social media marketing. SMS social media marketing.
social media marketing, and
This crowd is very quiet. I don't know why. You're not getting coffee or.
they are keen observers actually.
Okay. All of them are introverts. Maybe I don't know.
They are like me actually.
They're like.
Anything of marketing other than the conventional ways?
Yeah, just a few years ago it was like if you have to advertise your business, you throw like you put ad on newspaper, you put ad on TV channel, or your brochures, putting in your newspaper and throwing in the houses of people. And now it's digital marketing. It's something like that. Why? Because if you want to target a person looking for a job in information technology, you can explicitly target that individual. That's the beauty of digital marketing. This is why it's booming. And after Google and Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Google Maps, it knows everything about us. Maybe more than we know ourselves. They know more than ourselves, about ourselves. So digital marketing is the future, in short. So if you have any question, I would like to answer them. Please.
You're mentioning how the digital market is evolving. It started in 2015, 2016. How do you keep up with the changes? Technology is evolving every day. And be that innovation, NFTs, or minerals, and bitcoins. And how do you keep up with the changes and scope of and that could also be competition. You might be facing. How do you cope with it?
You have two questions. One about how to stay updated, right? See, when you are a practical guy, you won't have to worry about these things. When you get yourself stuck at some point and don't get updated yourself, like no one will help you. The best way to stay updated is to stay in the market. What you are preaching, keep doing practically yourself. Only then you will know what's happening, what's changing, what's updating. So I started my career back in 2006. From that point, I didn't stop myself at one point. I kept evolving myself as like Google algorithms, Facebook algorithm. So we know what's going to happen next and how to prepare ourselves for that phase. That's very important. What was your second part of question? Competition. See, after COVID, this question has become relevant. Why? Because we have more businesses and very small chunk of like resource and skillful person, actual skillful person. Like if we say, who can do this task? Maybe we will say, yes, we can. But maybe one or two of us can actually do that task. So resource is like minimum and work has a lot because everything has shifted. The change that was expected to happen in next 10 years has happened in just 2 years, 2020 to 2021 due to COVID. So I think we should forget about competition. We should focus on learning, evolving, and bringing in more and more business. This is the time, actually. Yeah, sure.
One more solution I just want to add to it is if you want to keep yourself updated, personally speaking, one of the best ways I've found is to teach. So it's also like a sadhaka, like they say, scholars say that it's a sadhaka for your ilm. So if you have free time during weekends, so try to, whatever you know, teach them. And people will ask you questions that are tough. And since you're not obliged to be perfect, it's a free training. It will allow you to answer those questions or search for those questions to help someone else. And I think it's in us as humans, that when we want to help someone, we do take some extra mile and we go ahead and we do R&D. But when it's all about us, we might not do that extra stuff. So yeah, that's just my personal suggestion. And
What is the difference now between the growth marketing and the
Sorry?
the growth marketing?
Like you're talking about traditional marketing and digital marketing, right?
There is a new terminology called growth marketing.
Yeah, sure.
Basically, the fundamental difference is if you're in a business and you want to grow your business, you want to get an additional, let's say, clientele, if you want to grow your business into another market, it's like more of a growth marketing and growth hacking.
yeah. So there are the two terminologies for this, as you mentioned, growth hacking as well, which is that you see that which is the best tool or best tactic that is suitable for you, which might not be applicable for another company, but might be applicable for you, and you have to figure this out. So which marketing tactic would bring you the best ROI? It lies under growth marketing. It could be traditional marketing as well. It could be event marketing. It could be digital marketing. But however, when you say only digital marketing, it means you're using digital media.
Actually, it more depends on your who your target audience is. So finding your target audience is the first step. Like as Amar having a car business, so his target, understanding his target audience is the main thing. So you understand your target audience, then decide how to do, like which channel to use for digital marketing. Anyone else?
Yeah, I just want to, it's not a question, rather it's a reflection. See, digital marketing is essential, that's true. Right? However, you cannot alienate or eliminate the conventional marketing as such. Meaning Pepsi, Pepsi, who doesn't know Pepsi? Pepsi still spends $100 million or something.
Top of mind awareness is very important. I was thank you for your reflection. It goes in line with the various schools, marketing schools, that with the introduction of the internet, the growth of the internet, which is the media, that's only one area of spending. But still, until today, the biggest chunk of marketing and advertising budget goes into the conventional channels. And those conventional channels, everything we see around us, because we still live as part of the
Exactly. So in the conventional channel, you have seen the difference happening in the Jeddah city itself. Yes, the conventional channel are becoming digitized, right?
Actually, it more depends on target audience,
No,
Pepsi has target audience that doesn't use social media or maybe doesn't use
No, this is not the point. The point is that from a business standpoint, I'm talking about right now. So, Car Trust, I did not know about when I entered this. Now, the biggest reason of that, maybe I did not look for an evaluation service for my car recently, right? Imagine noon. Why everybody knows noon? Noon starts their Yellow Friday concept, and they take the entire conventional inventory in the city, other than the digital inventory that they take as well, right? And they have kind of invested and made a position of themselves in the market that they are now at par with Amazon. That before they used to. Now, they are pure online retailers, but they do spend on the offline marketing or conventional marketing, as you say. Right? Sometimes awareness is something that you want to achieve, because that awareness will get you.
Actually, when you start doing something new that is not very acceptable in the market, in the minds of common people, you have to keep what you are doing earlier. With starting something new, they are doing exactly that. Like they don't want to miss the offline channels along with online channels. They gradually want to shift those offline channels to online channels.
I agree with you on that, but I'm just reflecting on
actually see it. But my whole perception is basically even digital marketing, there are different components within that digital marketing that could be applicable into a market and should work into a certain segment. It doesn't work for the other. For example, digital marketing is a very big domain. In Saudi, we see that influencers, which is part of digital marketing, play a pivotal role. While online ads or Google ads might not, okay, for a certain business. Search engine optimization might be useful for a company, but might not be useful for another. So all those are areas of investment within digital marketing that needs to be supported with evidence, and it needs to be going in line with your marketing spending. Okay, that's my own reflection on the macro. So digital marketing is still a good area of spending, but it needs to be supported with other potential.
You said something very right, that there are many people in the market, they call them digital marketers, right? But they might not be the right, they're not approaching it the right way, right? There's a lot of wastage happens, right? A lot of wastage happens. I mean, see, my background is that I have been working for IKEA, I've worked there for 10 years. Then I served Toys R Us, I'm a chief marketing officer. Currently, I'm with Huddle. So I'm looking into the e-commerce platform of theirs. Now, the CEO had a different opinion. He doesn't want to spend heavily. He just want to work with cost per lead and go heavy spending and getting that lead in. It's just destroying the budget. Where I am telling him, spend on the awareness of the platform, the leads will come.
I hope it's in operation.
Right? So, we have to approach a healthy balance between both the approaches. Right? I started.
Giving that more comes from your target audience.
Yeah. See, target audience is defined in both the cases. Both the cases. As a business, no business starts without knowing what your audience is. Right? So there's a primary audience, there's a secondary audience, and there's a
The
tertiary
first
audience.
phase is
And
awareness.
you need to decide who you want to talk to first, and then you carry
The
on.
first phase is awareness.
So,
From there, you got to know who's
so
the
what I'm saying
interest
is that from a 100% conventional spending on marketing to a 30-70 split, that's where we are. And that is how the businesses are still spent. And offline being the virtue, offline is expensive. It's very expensive. And you do a one campaign, which is equivalent to maybe 10 campaigns a day.
Exactly.
Right? So digital marketing and let's say the buzzword has been going on for many years. You find many different agencies in the region right now. They are claiming that they are the right partners for me to work with. And I've worked with them through Aegis Network. I have worked with the publicists group and all that. And they have people sitting here, scientists here and there. But the matter of the fact is that when you start spending, you don't get your returns the way you think digital marketing is doing. It's not a magic wand. That every time when you swing it, you get a business coming in. It takes time.
Just want to share an analogy. One thing to notice in digital marketing is the barrier of entry is very low. Anyone, doesn't matter if it's a freelancer, a startup business, they can enter and get the digital medium and benefit them. Sure. The analogy that I want to share is similar to investment. For example, when you want to, let's say you have like for cash and you want to invest into real estate, but real estate is expensive. Like if you want to buy a chunk of land, it's very difficult to get that. But the chunk of land might give you better ROI. But what is the other option? The other option is that you might be buying some stocks in a company, and each one is only maybe 100 or 50 depending on the company. But yeah, it's easy to enter there, but the ROI is not that much. So again, as both of the gentlemen mentioned, it depends on the target audience first. But when we say target audience, it also means the culture, the country, the nationality, the nature of the people, anything we have. So yeah, thank you so much for the questions. Do you think we should have a break and network selection session right now?
Well, I'm not sure now that there's been a lot of something. Let's think.
How do we without obtaining license process? How do we
Did you mention without getting a license for PI?
Yeah.
You don't need a okay. You don't need a license.
How that is
Yeah, so just to save your time, I have a dedicated YouTube channel on this. Like I have almost 27 videos on this topic and how an expatriate can register a business in Saudi. Because that's what I did. Now, to answer it quickly, you don't have to go to PIF, you have to go through Ministry of Investment. It was previously known as Sadia, but now they're in front industry now. He used to work in there as well, right? Maybe you can give us introduction. So, yeah, and secondly, as if you're living here in Saudi, the only way you can get the license is through an incubator. So you either the incubator could be PIF, the incubator could be MDSC college, that's where I did my MBA from. The incubator could be, let's say, House or any other incubator. You need to show them your business idea. They will give you a supporting letter, and then you use that letter to get the investment license. Sorry? Exactly. They have their own procedure. If you're applying from outside, let's say in your home country, then the requirement is that you have to show financial statements of your existing company for at least 1 year. All right? And they want to know, they want to make sure that you're an already established business in your home country, and now you're coming here to Saudi. Fees? Yeah, of course. There's some. If you're applying from outside, it's the first time you pay to Ministry of Investment is 12,000 riyal for the first time. So the license only. The rest of the fees are same as Saudi businesses for Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Human Resources, Validiyah, Ikama as well. Then the next year for the renewal is 62,000 riyal for Ministry of Investment. All right, don't get disappointed. 62,000. If you want to save the money, let's say if you're an entrepreneur, then you should go through an incubator. If you go through an incubator like us, you don't pay 62,000 riyal annually. You pay 2,000 riyal annually for 5 years. So you get discounted because you're categorized as an entrepreneur. All right, again, I would highly recommend you watch that channel of mine, not because I want to subscribers, but fine. Thank you so much. Let's have our session. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Tanvir, and thank you, Mr. Amar. It was a pleasure having you here. And thank you to all our audience for joining us today. And we hope to see more entrepreneurs, more business ideas, so that we as a community can again grow and network, and of course help each other. And one more thing I'd just like to say over here that from my recent experience from the GEC, I came across the Miss Entrepreneurship and I came across the House initiative as well, which is called the Tabagam initiative. And they are open to applications from all over the world. And their deadline is approaching in May. So if you have an idea, which of course has AI technology, blockchain incorporated into it, and they of course ask you whether you have traction, etc. And of course you can, if you want, apply for it. And you never know, maybe you are the ones, one of the startups that get selected by them. So of course they're the incubators, they're the accelerators, and they are open. So you can obviously check the Tableton from House, and you can also check the Miss Entrepreneurship. And of course, yes, that would be the starting point. And of course, if you don't get selected, don't be demotivated. There is always opportunities coming up.
One last thing. Inshallah. So, request all of you to please follow the official social media channels for this meetup, and at the same time, our course, our other content as well. Thank you for your support. And if you have any questions related to starting a company here in Saudi, feel free to come to me right now. It's the right time for networking. And yeah, thanks again.
Thank you so much. And if you are posting anything on social media, Please do not forget to add the hashtag startup and hashtag startup huddle and startup huddle Jeddah. All right, and we both can maybe do share as much as possible because this is our first and we don't want it to be the last. We want to grow just like you all. And that's a wrap for today. That's a wrap for startup huddle Jeddah. And it's now going to be networking time for all of you. So thank you and hope you have a great stay and night.